What if everything you've been taught about being a good person is a carefully crafted lie designed to keep you docile, predictable, and weak? What if the friendliest smile in the room is just a mask for the sharpest dagger? What if power, real, lasting power, doesn't come from kindness, honesty, or playing fair, but from cunning, calculation, and a willingness to do what others won't? Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance's most infamous strategist, didn't just question the rules of leadership, he shattered them, exposing the raw, brutal truth of how the world actually works. This isn't a motivational speech to warm your heart. This is a cold, hard warning. In a world teeming with sheep blindly following the herd, only the shadow, the one who sees the game, plays the game and masters the game, survives and thrives. Let's step back to Florence, 1469. Picture a city that's a paradox. Breathtaking art and architecture on one hand, ruthless political scheming on the other. Florence called itself a republic, but it was a theater of power, with families like the Medici pulling strings from behind velvet curtains. Loyalty was a commodity bought and sold daily. Trust was a gamble, and betrayal was as common as the sunrise. Leaders rose and fell in the blink of an eye. One day celebrated, the next day executed. Niccolò Machiavelli grew up in this crucible, watching men cling to ideals only to be crushed by those who adapted to reality. He didn't inherit wealth or a noble name, but he had something sharper, a mind that saw through the illusions. By his late 20s, he was a top diplomat, not because of connections, but because he understood the unspoken rules of power. He studied history, observed wars, and dissected the rise and fall of empires. His conclusion? Success doesn't come from being virtuous, it comes from being ruthlessly effective. His infamous work, The Prince, isn't a manual for tyrants, it's a mirror held up to human nature, showing us what we'd rather not see. Society sells you a comforting story. Be good, be honest, be kind, and the world will reward you. Machiavelli calls this what it is, a trap. While you're busy playing by the rules, others are breaking them, plotting in silence and climbing over your back. Virtue, as the world defines it, makes you predictable, and predictability is a death sentence in the game of power. Machiavelli doesn't advocate cruelty for the sake of cruelty. He demands pragmatism. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both, he wrote. Not because he loved fear, but because he understood human psychology. Love is fickle. It shifts with emotions, fades with time, and crumbles under pressure. Fear, on the other hand, is reliable. Fear keeps people in line, makes enemies hesitate, and buys you time to maneuver. But here's the catch. Fear must be wielded like a surgeon's scalpel, precise, controlled, never reckless. Overdo it and you breed resentment. Underdo it and you lose control. The world doesn't celebrate the saintly. It kneels to those who know when to strike and when to smile. To win in this unforgiving world, Machiavelli teaches you to embody two archetypes, the serpent and the hawk. The serpent is cunning, silent, and elusive. It slips through traps, listens more than it speaks, and strikes only when the moment is perfect. Its words are calculated, its intentions veiled, its presence disarming until it's too late. The hawk, by contrast, is bold and commanding. It soars high, its shadow alone enough to instill awe, its talons swift and merciless when it dives. Be only the serpent, and you're clever but vulnerable to brute force. Be only the hawk, and you're powerful but predictable, easily outmaneuvered by subtler players. Combine them, and you become something else entirely, a force that's both untouchable and unstoppable. Machiavelli pointed to Cesare Borgia, the son of a pope, as a master of this duality. Borgia built an empire through calculated terror, then won the public's heart by publicly punishing his own brutal enforcer. Was this evil? No, it was strategy. In politics, in business, in life, morality isn't a rule book. It's a chess piece to be moved or sacrificed as the board demands. Perception is your greatest weapon. You don't need to be good. You need to seem good. Most people never look beyond the surface. They judge what's in front of them, not what's behind the curtain. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. Speak of honor, even if your plans are ruthless. Act generously, even if it's a calculated move to win loyalty. Keep your hands clean, even if you ordered the strike. The crowd doesn't care about your true motives. They care about the story you tell. If you win, your sins are erased. If you lose, your kindness is forgotten. Look at history's great leaders. They weren't saints, but they mastered the art of perception. They knew that image shapes reality and reality shapes power. So stop chasing approval. Start crafting the mask that serves your purpose. Machiavelli didn't believe in fairy tales or utopias. He saw the world for what it is, a battlefield where the naive are trampled by the cunning. Those who dream of how the world should be, fair, just, kind, are destroyed by those who play it as it is. Power isn't inherently good or evil. It's a tool, and those who pretend it doesn't matter are the first to fall to those who know how to wield it. Machiavelli spoke of two forces that shape your destiny, virtù and fortuna. Virtù isn't moral virtue, it's mastery, skill, courage, the ability to bend circumstances to your will. Fortuna is fortune, the chaos of life, luck, chance, the sudden storm that upends your plans. You can't control fortuna, but you can outmaneuver it. Build your walls before the flood. Train your mind before the betrayal. Sharpen your instincts before the knife is at your throat. Fortuna governs half your life. Virtù lets you claim the other half. Why would you surrender it all to chance? Let's get practical. How do you apply Machiavelli's wisdom in today's world? First, master silence. Never reveal your full intentions. Let others underestimate you. Let them talk while you listen. Silence is a weapon. It disarms and unnerves. Second, control your image. Your reputation is your shield. Curate it carefully. Appear trustworthy, principled, even as you plot your next move. Third, act decisively. Hesitation is a death sentence. Fortune favors the bold. When opportunity knocks, don't pause, strike. Fourth, keep allies close but never let your guard down. The greatest threats come from those nearest to you. Watch them with calm, clear eyes. Fifth, adapt relentlessly. The strategy that worked yesterday will fail tomorrow. Stay fluid, flexible, ready to pivot. Sixth, prioritize respect over affection. Fear sustains loyalty longer than love ever could. Seventh, separate your morals from your strategy. Be ethical when you can, but strategic when you must. This isn't about abandoning your soul. It's about protecting it in a world that doesn't play fair. History is littered with the bones of those who ruled by kindness and were erased by those who ruled by strength. The most peaceful kings had wolves guarding their gates. The most compassionate nations were built on silent wars. You don't need to become a monster, but you must understand how monsters think. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Softness is mistaken for weakness, and weakness invites attack. In today's world, Machiavelli's lessons scream louder than ever. The workplace is a battlefield. Your smiling boss who praises you but blocks your promotion. Your colleague who mirrors your every move only to steal your spotlight. The influencer who preaches love while peddling fear. They're all playing the game, whether they've read The Prince or not. The board hasn't changed since Florence, just the pieces. Politics, media, relationships, even social media feeds. They're all arenas of strategy, perception, and power. True power isn't loud or flashy. It's silent, deliberate, unshakable. It doesn't chase attention. It commands it. To embody the shadow, you need three things. First, emotional discipline. Never act from anger or impulse. Hide your cards, control your reactions, and move only when the moment is right. Power belongs to those who master themselves. Second, psychological distance. Step back from the drama, the noise, the chaos. Analyze people not for who they claim to be, but for what they do. Watch their patterns, not their promises. Third, long-term vision. The serpent plans the next step, the hawk plans the next strike, but the shadow plans the next decade. Don't just think about your next move. Think about the empire you're building. This path comes with a cost, and you need to be ready for it. People will misunderstand you. They'll call you cold, calculating, even cruel. Let them. Power doesn't explain itself. Strategy doesn't beg for permission. Your results will speak louder than their accusations. Your legacy will outlast their gossip. Machiavelli himself paid this price. In his final years, he lived in exile, stripped of office, wealth, and influence. But he had something no one could take, a pen and the truth. He wrote for those willing to see the world as it is, not as they wish it to be. He gave us the playbook for a game that's anything but fair, a war of perception, timing, and will. So let's cut to the core. Are you the pawn or the player, the sheep or the shadow? Stop pretending life rewards kindness for kindness' sake. It doesn't. The battlefield of existence doesn't care about your intentions. It rewards those who can command, influence, and strike when the moment demands. You don't need to abandon your ethics, but you must know how to defend them. The shadow doesn't apologize for its strength, and neither should you. Today, the stakes are higher than ever. Leaders no longer wear crowns, they wear suits. Betrayals don't come with swords. They come with contracts, emails, and subtle slights. Loyalty is cheap, sold to the highest bidder. Your workplace, your social circle, your online presence, they're all part of the same invisible game board Machiavelli mapped centuries ago. The question isn't whether you'll play, it's whether you'll play to win. Will you be the one who's outmaneuvered or the one who sees the trap before it snaps? Will you be the one who folds under pressure or the one who stays calm when chaos erupts? Will you be the sheep or the shadow that commands? Here's your final charge. Be wise, be bold, be untouchable. Cultivate the serpent's cunning and the hawk's ferocity. Shape your image, wield your power, and never let softness be your cage. You're not here to follow the herd, you're here to lead it or to rise above it. Machiavelli didn't just write for kings, he wrote for anyone who refuses to be ruled. So take his lessons, sharpen your mind, and step into the game with eyes wide open. If this struck a nerve, if you feel that fire stirring inside, drop a comment below. I see the game, and I know you do too. Subscribe to Whispers of Power for more unfiltered strategies from minds like Machiavelli, the kind of wisdom that cuts through the noise. Share this with anyone ready to wake up and play the game for real. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.